Have you ever looked out the window one quiet afternoon and felt the weight of your whole life sitting gently on your shoulders? The sunlight drips down the wall like warm honey. The world moves on. But inside, you're still wondering, have I lived for myself or mostly for others? Have you spent years putting everyone else first, saying yes when your heart whispered no? Holding on to friendships that quietly drained you? Comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel? If any of that feels familiar, then you and we might be standing at the same crossroad of life. Because after turning 70, something shifted in me. I started letting go. Letting go of the guilt, the noise, the pressure to be anything other than myself. And in that letting go, I found peace. In this video, I'll share with you the 9 things I stopped doing after 70. Not because I gave up, but because I finally started choosing myself. If you've ever felt the same, leave a comment. I deserve to live for me. Or simply, I'm learning to let go. And if you're ready to walk this new chapter together, hit subscribe because you're not alone in this. Third, letting go of comparisons. As I sit quietly in this nursing home, surrounded by the gentle hum of life and the soft whispers of memories, I can't help but reflect on a heavy burden I carried for far too long. The constant comparisons that drained my joy and left me feeling inadequate. You see, for years I measured my worth against the accomplishments of others, allowing their successes to overshadow my own, no matter how significant they were. Each time I saw a friend achieve a milestone or heard about a family member's triumph, it felt like a sharp reminder of what I thought I was lacking, piercing through my heart and leaving behind a trail of self-doubt. In this stillness, where the days stretch out like a gentle river flowing through time, I've come to realize just how damaging those comparisons were. Losing my daily responsibilities magnified these feelings, stripping away the roles that once defined me and forcing me to confront the uncomfortable truth that I had let the achievements of others dictate my happiness. I remember countless nights spent tossing and turning, my mind racing with thoughts of who I should be, rather than embracing the person I truly am. But here's the beautiful part. I've learned that embracing my unique journey is the key to finding self-acceptance and genuine contentment. Each of us walks a different path, shaped by our own experiences and dreams, and it's in this individuality that we discover the seeds of fulfillment. Now I celebrate my accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. Whether it's completing a puzzle, sharing a laugh with a fellow resident, or simply basking in the warmth of the sun, I recognize these moments as victories worth celebrating. This shift in mindset has brought me immense joy, allowing me to focus on my growth instead of measuring myself against others. I've started to appreciate the beauty of my own story, with all its twists and turns, triumphs and trials, woven together with threads of resilience and hope. In this nursing home, where laughter and solitude coexist, I find comfort in knowing that my worth isn't defined by comparisons, but by the richness of my own experiences. As I embrace this new perspective, I'm learning to let go of the weight of those comparisons that once anchored me in despair. Instead, I celebrate the unique journey that is mine alone, finding joy in the simple pleasures of each day and the connections I build with those around me. In doing so, I reclaim my sense of self, nurturing a spirit that flourishes in the acceptance of who I am. I've discovered that true contentment doesn't lie in the shadows of others, but in the light of my own achievements. And that realization has filled my heart with a warmth I never thought I'd feel again, saying no to unnecessary social obligations. As I sit in this nursing home, watching the world outside my window, I can't help but reflect on the tangled web of social obligations that once consumed my life, leaving me feeling drained and unfulfilled. There was a time when I felt an overwhelming sense of duty to attend every gathering, every event, and every social engagement, believing that my worth was somehow tied to my presence in these moments. Yet as I navigate this quieter phase of life, I've come to realize that feeling obligated to participate in social events can drain not only my energy but also my time, leaving little room for the personal fulfillment that my heart so desperately craves. The promise of prioritizing my own needs and desires has become a guiding light in my journey towards self-discovery. I've learned that it is not only acceptable, but empowering to say no to events that do not resonate with me, allowing me to focus on what truly brings joy to my spirit. I remember the guilt that used to wash over me whenever I declined an invitation, a nagging sense of disappointment in myself for not conforming to the expectations of others. It felt as though my refusal was a rejection of friendship or connection, a betrayal of the social fabric that held us together. But now I understand that my time is precious, and I want to spend it on activities that genuinely uplift me rather than stretching myself thin to meet the demands of a busy social calendar. This shift in perspective has enriched my social life in ways I never anticipated. Instead of attending events out of obligation, I now choose to engage in meaningful interactions that resonate with my heart. Whether it's sharing a quiet conversation with a fellow resident, enjoying a peaceful afternoon in the garden, or indulging in a good book, I've discovered that the quality of my connections far outweighs the quantity. Each interaction feels like a gift, a moment to cherish rather than a chore to endure. As I sit in my room, surrounded by the remnants of a life filled with both laughter and solitude, I find solace in the knowledge that I have the power to curate my social experiences. The loss of daily responsibilities has given me the opportunity to reflect on what truly matters, allowing me to embrace the freedom of choice. Saying no has transformed from an act of guilt into a declaration of self-respect, a way to honor my own needs in a world that often demands more than we can give. In this nursing home, where the echoes of past gatherings linger in the air, I've learned that it's perfectly okay to step back and prioritize my own well-being. By letting go of unnecessary social obligations, I've opened the door to deeper connections and more fulfilling experiences, enriching my life in ways that I had long forgotten were possible. In choosing to say no, I am finally learning to say yes to myself, and that realization has filled my heart with a profound sense of peace and contentment. Reevaluating activities that no longer bring joy. In the stillness of my room in this nursing home, I often find myself reflecting on the routines that once provided structure to my days, but have now become mere obligations. The world outside my window shifts with the seasons, a vibrant reminder of change, while I sit here, grappling with the realization that many of my daily activities no longer spark joy. It's a bittersweet awakening, one that stirs a quiet grief within me as I confront how the loss of daily responsibilities has left me with ample time to ponder what truly matters in my life. For so long, I adhered to routines that felt comfortable and familiar, believing that consistency was synonymous with fulfillment. I attended the book club, participated in bingo nights, and followed the same patterns day after day. Yet as I look back, I see that these activities had morphed into obligations, things I felt I should do rather than things I wanted to do. The laughter and excitement that once surrounded these gatherings have faded, replaced by a sense of forced cheerfulness that leaves me feeling hollow. It's a painful realization, acknowledging that I had allowed the rhythm of habit to drown out the melody of my heart's desires. However, in this quiet space of reflection, I've discovered the promise of letting go. By taking a hard look at my daily routines, I've begun to shed the weight of unfulfilling activities, creating room for new passions that genuinely excite me. Painting and gardening have emerged as my newfound loves, activities that awaken a sense of joy I thought I had lost forever. Each brushstroke on canvas and every seed I plant feels like a small act of rebellion against the monotony that had taken hold of my life. Painting allows me to express emotions that words often fail to capture. The vibrant colors and the flow of creativity bring a sense of liberation, reminding me that I still have a voice, even in this quiet corner of the world. Gardening, on the other hand, connects me to the earth, grounding me in the beauty of growth and renewal. Watching the flowers bloom and the vegetables thrive is a gentle reminder that life continues to flourish, even in unexpected places. As I immerse myself in these activities, I feel a resurgence of energy and purpose. They have become my sanctuary, a refuge where I can explore my creativity and find solace in nurturing life. In this nursing home, amidst the quiet hum of daily life, I've learned that assessing how I spend my time is not just an exercise in productivity, but a vital step toward reclaiming my joy and fulfillment. By shedding the weight of unfulfilling routines, I've opened the door to a world of possibilities. It's never too late to seek out what truly makes my heart sing. In this journey of reevaluation, I am rediscovering not just my passions, but also a deeper sense of self, one that embraces change and welcomes the beauty of new beginnings. 6. Prioritizing your own happiness. Without guilt. Sitting in my cozy room at the nursing home, I often find myself gazing out the window, watching the world go by, and thinking about happiness. It's funny how we spend so much time caring for everyone else, isn't it? We feel this heavy weight of guilt whenever we even consider putting our own needs first, as if self-care is something we should be ashamed of. But as I navigate this quieter chapter of my life, I've come to realize that prioritizing my own happiness is not only important, it's essential. You see, I've learned that taking care of myself doesn't make me selfish. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When I think about it, we can't pour from an empty cup. If I don't fill my own cup with joy and fulfillment, how can I possibly share love and support with those around me? It's a simple truth that has become my guiding light. Even if it took me a while to accept it, the guilt still whispers in my ear sometimes, nudging me to do more for others. But I'm slowly learning to silence that voice. Living in this nursing home, I've discovered the importance of carving out time just for me. Whether it's meditating in the morning, diving into a good book, or simply enjoying a quiet moment with my thoughts, these little acts of self-care have become my lifelines. Each meditation session brings a wave of peace, while every story I read transports me to new places, allowing me to escape the confines of my daily routine. What's truly magical is how these moments of solitude have changed my interactions with others. When I take the time to nurture myself, I find that I am much more present and engaged when I'm with friends. The guilt that used to weigh me down starts to fade, replaced by the realization that my happiness matters just as much as anyone else's. By focusing on my own well-being, I enrich my relationships and can connect more deeply with those I care about. Embracing this new perspective has been eye-opening. I now see that prioritizing my happiness is not just a personal journey. It's a crucial part of taking care of myself. Letting go of the guilt that has shadowed me feels liberating. I'm learning that my well-being is vital, not just for me, but for everyone I love. By nurturing my spirit, I'm finally allowing myself to bloom and discovering the beauty of a life filled with joy, connection, and love. So here's what I've come to realize. It's perfectly okay to put myself first sometimes. By doing this, I become a better friend, a better companion, and ultimately, a happier person. This lesson has become my mantra. Prioritizing my happiness without guilt is not just necessary, it's truly transformative. And if I can embrace this truth, maybe you can too. 7. Releasing the burden of material possessions. As I sit here in my small room at the nursing home, reflecting on my journey toward happiness, I can't help but think about the weight of material possessions and how they once filled my life with clutter rather than joy. It's funny how we often believe that accumulating things will bring us security and happiness. Yet I've come to realize that true fulfillment lies far beyond the items we own. In my previous life, my home overflowed with belongings, trinkets that once sparked joy, clothes I hadn't worn in years, and countless knickknacks that seemed to multiply overnight. Looking back, I see how those possessions only added to the chaos in my living space in my mind, distracting me from the deeper connections and experiences that truly matter. The promise of letting go has become a beacon of hope for me, lighting the way toward a more meaningful existence. I remember the day I decided to declutter my home, a task that felt both overwhelming and freeing. Each item I picked up brought back memories and emotions, forcing me to confront my past. I felt a bittersweet grief as I let go of things that had once held significance, gifts from loved ones, souvenirs from travels, and even clothes that reminded me of who I used to be. Yet amidst that sadness, there was a profound sense of relief that washed over me as I cleared out the unnecessary clutter. I began to understand that happiness isn't found in the accumulation of things, but in the richness of experiences and the depth of connections with others. Now, living in this nursing home, I often reflect on how my space mirrors who I am today, rather than who I was yesterday. The simplicity of my surroundings allows me to focus on what truly matters. The laughter shared with fellow residents during game nights, the joy of storytelling during group activities, and the quiet moments spent in reflection. I've learned to cherish experiences over possessions, realizing that each shared moment holds far more value than any item I could ever own. By letting go of my material burdens, I've created space for new experiences and joy, allowing my heart to expand in ways I never thought possible. As I navigate this chapter of my life, I find comfort in knowing that I have released the weight of my past. The loss of daily responsibilities once felt like a void, but now I see it as an opportunity to embrace a lighter, more fulfilling life. In this journey of decluttering, I've discovered that true happiness resides in the connections we forge and the experiences we share. And I'm grateful for the clarity that comes with each passing day. With every moment spent in laughter and love, I realize that I am finally free to live fully in the present. 8. Redefining goals. As I sit in my cozy room at the nursing home, watching the world outside my window shift with the seasons, I can't help but ponder how much my dreams and aspirations have transformed over the years. It's almost amusing to think about the goals I once chased, those ambitious pursuits that seemed so vital back in the day. I remember the thrill of climbing the corporate ladder, the excitement of accumulating wealth and status, believing that these markers of success would lead to happiness. Yet as I look back, those ambitions feel like echoes of a life that no longer resonates with who I am today. The realization that I can redefine what success means to me has been a liberating journey. It's become clear that it's not just acceptable, but essential to let go of outdated goals that no longer align with my values and desires. In those quiet moments of reflection, I've discovered that true fulfillment comes not from chasing material success, but from nurturing relationships and savoring the moments that fill our hearts with joy. The laughter shared with friends, the warmth of family gatherings, and those simple, beautiful experiences have taken center stage in my life, overshadowing the ambitions that once consumed me. As I navigate this new chapter, my priorities have shifted dramatically. The relentless pursuit of accolades and recognition has been replaced by a deep desire to spend quality time with loved ones. I find joy in creating memories that will last long after I'm gone. It's the little things that matter now: a shared cup of tea, a heartfelt conversation, or an afternoon spent reminiscing about the good old days. Each of these moments has become a new marker of success, filling my heart with warmth and reminding me of what truly matters in life. In this journey of redefining my goals, I've also uncovered passions that bring me genuine happiness. Writing has blossomed into a cherished outlet for me, allowing my thoughts and feelings to flow onto the page in ways I never thought possible. Each word feels like a piece of my soul laid bare, a testament to my journey and the lessons I've learned along the way. Volunteering has also opened my heart to the needs of others, reminding me that giving back can be one of the most fulfilling pursuits. There's a unique joy in helping others, a sense of connection that enriches my own life. Reflecting on the loss of daily responsibilities that once defined my identity, I feel a quiet grief for the person I used to be. Yet there's also a profound sense of liberation. Letting go of goals that no longer serve me has allowed me to embrace a life filled with meaning and connection. I've learned that redefining success isn't just about achieving new milestones. It's about nurturing the relationships and passions that truly enrich our lives. In this newfound understanding, I've discovered my place in the world, and for that, I am deeply grateful. 9. Embracing authentic beauty. You know, there's a certain magic in getting older that nobody ever tells you about. Here in the nursing home, where life has slowed down to a gentle rhythm, I've found myself thinking a lot about what beauty really means. It's funny how society always pushes us to chase after youth, to hide those gray hairs and wrinkles as if there's something to be ashamed of. But now, with the hustle and bustle of daily life behind me, I've come to see those signs of aging as something entirely different, something beautiful. Every wrinkle on my face tells a story, each gray hair a testament to the years I've lived and the experiences I've gathered along the way. For so long, I felt the pressure to conform, to fit into this narrow definition of beauty that society had laid out. But as the responsibilities that once filled my days have faded away, I've started to redefine beauty for myself. It's not about looking like I did in my 20s. It's about embracing who I am now, with all the wisdom and life lessons etched into my skin. Sitting here, with time to truly reflect, I've discovered that real beauty comes from confidence and authenticity. It's not about trying to look young forever. It's about owning who you are at every stage of life. And let me tell you, that realization has brought me a sense of peace I never expected. I no longer feel the need to hide my age or pretend to be someone I'm not. Instead, I celebrate the journey that's brought me here, finding joy in the stories my appearance tells. Without the daily grind to distract me, I've had the chance to really think about what matters most. There's a bit of sadness for all those years spent worrying about what others thought, but there's also a deep appreciation for the freedom that comes with embracing my true self. As I sit here, surrounded by the gentle hum of life in this place, I feel a quiet confidence growing inside me, a newfound acceptance of who I am. In this chapter of my life, I'm learning to see beauty not as something I need to achieve, but as something that's already a part of me. It's about being real, being authentic, and celebrating the person I've become. True beauty isn't about erasing the years. It's about embracing them, and in doing so, finding a joy and peace that fills my days with warmth and contentment. And that, I think, is the most beautiful thing of all. As I sit in the quiet hush of this evening, with the soft light spilling through the window like a memory, I find myself reflecting not on what I've lost with age, but on everything I've finally been free enough to let go of. Because after 70, life no longer feels like a race to be run or a mask to be worn. It feels more like a gentle walk through a familiar forest, where I pause not to impress anyone, but simply to admire the way the sunlight filters through the leaves. I've learned that peace isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. And letting go of comparisons, of expectations, of the weight of others' opinions has made room for something softer, wiser, and more true to who I really am. There's a quiet kind of joy in saying no without guilt, in releasing possessions that no longer hold meaning, in redefining success not by what I achieve, but by how deeply I feel, how kindly I live, and how much of myself I am willing to honor each day. So if you're walking a similar path, if you too have reached the point where you're done performing for the world, know this: you haven't missed anything. You're exactly where you're meant to be, growing deeper, not louder, rooting, not rushing, becoming, not proving. If these words found a place in your heart today, I gently invite you to subscribe and stay with me on this journey. Let's keep discovering what it means to live fully, not in spite of our age, but because of it. Thank you for sharing this space with me, and until we meet again, may you walk gently with yourself and bravely into the beauty of all that still awaits.